Welcome to From Loneliness to Overflow with Matina. I'm your host, a holistic healing coach, divorce recovery coach, and a passionate advocate for personal growth and your guide on the journey to healing. This podcast is for those who are struggling with the feelings of loneliness, disconnection, feeling stuck, and who are ready to discover their inner potential and live a life overflowing with love and connection. Inside, we are going to explore the path from pain to transformation, bridging the gap between loneliness and abundance through heartfelt conversations, spirituality, energy work, and self-awareness. So let's get started on this soulful journey together. Welcome to another episode from Loneliness to Overflow with Matina. In my last solo episode, I invite you to go back if you haven't listened to it, because we talked about life book. We talked about the sense of safety. We talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where there are 5 of them. And today I want to continue that conversation. But today I really want to look into the sense of belonging. As human beings, we are creatures that seek other tribes, that want to belong to other tribes and people and communities. And this is why, to my belief, religion was created, so that we can have this sense of belonging right away. Yet it has also created this false paradigm of I am better than this person because that person is not from my religion, or I am higher than this because I grew up in a higher caste. That was not the intention, people. We're all one and the same. That's my belief. You can choose to believe whatever you want to believe. But for me, we're all one and the same. And in Sikhi, the culture that I grew up with, it is really laid out very clearly to not be defined by these false beliefs that we don't belong to a larger community than we are made out to believe. However, this conversation is not for that. This conversation is to go deeper and beyond, is to go deeper and beyond. We all know that we have a sense of belonging, the need to belong to other people, to other tribes, the need to be understood. But how much are you understanding your own needs? How much have you done an introspection of your own physical, mental, emotional, spiritual body? How much have you done that? When we look at the life book perspective and we have all the 12 categories of life, now, mind you, these 12 categories are not all the categories of life. We can probably add another few to this. But this platform and this breakdown allows us to know that there is more than just career, just relationships, that we all live through, but we don't give the time and need to define what that needs to be. And for anyone who's interested in the life book journey, reach out to me. I can help you with that journey. It's a program that's being offered on Mind Valley. It's a program that has been continuing to grow and help people in building a life that's outside of the norm. I believe in it, and I have found ways to deepen the sense of safety and belonging when it comes to that parameter. And that's exactly what we're going to lean in today. What is the sense of belonging in every single category? How do you create that sense of belonging? How do you define what that needs to look like? Knowing really well that we need people. We're not meant to do life alone. Yet our loneliness paradigms make us believe that no one can understand us. A loneliness paradigm makes us believe that other people are not where you are at. While the direct people that you are living with might not be at that level that you're at, I promise you, there is a tribe out there for you. I promise you that you will find the right people and solutions only if you open yourself up for it. How can you create that sense of belonging, of someone else understands me, and from that perspective, welcome change? From that perspective, let go of shame and guilt and pain that we have created for ourselves and trying to hold on to, which is not okay. What is your sense of safety? What is your sense of belonging when it comes to all of these categories? If you haven't listened to my last solo episode, please go back and have a listen. I go in depth about what we need when it comes to safety in every single category. And today we're going to do similar, but we're going to look into the sense of belonging because it's a hierarchical need for us. We need it. Our body and mind and soul require and strive and look for it. So let's create that for ourselves. Let's build that for ourselves. When it comes to the 12 categories of life, the very first one is health and fitness. Looking at health and fitness, how can you create a sense of belonging in health and fitness? Maybe you're someone who has been overweight, and now overweight defined by the world, not by me. And you don't have the right people inside of your realm that understand your body's struggles. Maybe you've been dealing with an illness that has limited you from the way that you live your life. What can you do and how can you create a sense of belonging when it comes to health and fitness? Now, seeking groups of people who are going to a similar experience can be helpful. There are also pitfalls in that. The pitfall in finding the same community of going through the pain so that you feel that sense of belonging and sense of safety with them is not always the case, but it can be the case, is that you get stuck in the victim mentality, believing that this is your reality and nothing else can change and nothing else is possible than living this reality every single day. Please hear me. There's been enough research done to tell you that that is not the truth. And Dr. Joe Dispenza is a living proof of it. Look into his books. Look into what else is possible when you lean into the unknown. So while groups that understand your pain, your struggles are helpful for the sense of belonging, that's actually why we seek them. Find a smaller part of that group that is going beyond what is being told to them, that is seeking something else, that is seeking a higher understanding, a higher solution, another possibility, and making them look into what they don't know. When it comes to an intellectual life, what is your sense of belonging there? And that's not like, oh, I have a bachelor degree, so I'm so better than that, or I have a college degree. You have a college degree? You don't understand what I'm saying. Those are all false parameters, people. Look truly to the intellect that the person is bringing to you. That goes beyond the study he has done or she has done. That goes beyond what you're telling them to believe. It actually goes into listening and leaning in and being curious, asking the right questions so they can open up. Sometimes people will surprise you, and other times you're like, okay, this is not the way that I think, or I want to open myself up to thinking. Therefore, this is not the right person when it comes to my intellectual life, to creating a sense of belonging in the growth that I'm on, not the stagnation. We can always, always, always find people from where we are at. And the famous saying goes, be in a room where you feel that you don't belong in so that you can grow into being in that room. Versus being in the room where you understand everything, where you're the right people, where you can tell people how to do it and what to do and all of those things. Those rooms are really only feeding our ego. And the room where you feel uncomfortable being in because you haven't developed yourself enough. The rooms that you are in that you haven't really done what's the right thing for you next. Those are the rooms that will help you grow, that will take you on a journey beyond what you know, that will take you and increase your intellectual life in ways that you do not know. How can you create a better sense of belonging in those rooms? How can you be okay with being uncomfortable, but yet that curious child that wants to know, that wants to learn, that wants to grow from that perspective? When it comes to emotional life, how can you create a sense of belonging with your own emotions? Which emotions do you want to house into your heart? And which emotions are you ready to let go of? When we are growing in an environment that is demeaning, or it's toxic, or it's not making you feel good, there's a reason for it. There's a reason why you're not feeling good. There's a reason why you're not feeling good. So how can you open yourself up, grow further, get into a way of life that you can create a safety net with your own emotions? When you don't feel good in a paradigm or in a chapter of life, how can you shift and open up yourself to more compassion, more grace, more love, more peace, more forgiveness, so that the other person is forgiven, so that you create space in your energetic life to welcome something new? It's all about your journey. The way that you are thinking about past experiences, no one else is thinking about them. No one else. I promise you, no one else is. You are thinking in that way because there's something that's keeping you stuck in those emotions. There's something that's keeping you away from what you are looking to create, looking to welcome, looking to be in, versus the reality that you're living every single day. So how can you create a sense of belonging with your own emotions? How can you put that anger, that hatred, that resentment into the light of the universe, God, source, however you want to call it, and ask for the transmutation of that emotion? How can you ask to let go of that emotion and welcome more love, welcome more compassion, welcome more grace? How can you do that? That is an answer that you need to find inside of you. No one else can give you that answer. And it's going to be a liberating one. It is going to be a liberating one. It's going to give you so much more than you could ever imagine. I believe that when we step into our own emotional life, understanding our emotions, choosing which one we're letting go, choosing which ones we're going to create and hold on to, that we are completely changing our reality. I've seen that for myself. I've seen that for my clients. I've seen that in communities where I got to share my gifts with. And the simple thing, it was like, what? How do I feel so different? Because you gave yourself permission. So it's time for you to give yourself permission to feel, to not suppress, to be with, to not hold on to. We think that when we are being with a specific emotion in a specific situation, that it takes over our lives. And while that might be true in that moment, you're actually taking yourself through that emotion, through that rush. And the intention is to let it out, not suppress. Suppressing creates diseases. Letting go does not. So let it go. Let it go. Give yourself that grace, the ease. And now when you look at the next one, the spiritual life, what is the sense of belonging to your spiritual life that goes beyond your religion? Our religion gives us direction. It gives us a pathway. But we still get to pave that path for ourselves. And no two paths might look alike. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you for choosing differently, for questioning that. This is your spiritual journey, no one else's. You get to decide when you lean in. You get to decide when you show up and how you show up. You get to do that. I know it's a magical journey, not an easy one, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's not an easy one. But my goodness, it is a rewarding one, because I get to choose the peace of mind, even when my surroundings are in full chaos. I get to choose the peace of mind, even when my surroundings are in full chaos. So can you. Go beyond the textbook. Lean into those questions in your heart. God is not judging you for those questions. The universe doesn't do that. And if you don't believe in God, okay, perfect. What questions reside in you that you already have, but you haven't allowed yourself to ask? You haven't allowed yourself to have that time to reflect upon it. What happens when you reflect upon it? What happens when you sit in silence for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes every single day, multiple times a day, and lean into your own magic? What happens? What do you create? What do you welcome? There's so much magic in our spiritual life, in discovering parts of ourselves, the nuances of our own psyche, the nuances of our own magic, specific attributes that we have that no one else does, the path that you can create from that way of life that you didn't have before. There's so much magic in it. So much magic. Trust it. Before we dive back in, I have something transformative to share with you. It's called the Alignment Collective. Release, Rebuild, and Rise. My signature group coaching program designed to help you unlock the life you deserve. Every month, we focus on a key area of life, from health to relationships, career, and more. In the first 2 weeks, we energetically release what's holding you back. Then we shift into calling in the abundance and clarity that you desire. And in the final week, we come together for a powerful group coaching, sharing our wins, our challenges, and raising the collective energy. Are you ready to release what doesn't serve you, rebuild your foundation, and rise into your potential? Try it for 50% off with discount code GROWTH. Visit matinasingh.com/meditation. The link is also found in the description. I can't wait to support you on this journey. When it comes to your love relationship, this is a good one, because what happens so often is we create a sense of belonging with our partner that we think that we own them, that we get to decide collectively now how a life gets to be. And they truly cannot have their own wishes or their own pathways or their own dreams, because it doesn't fit into the dynamic of us together. Expectations kill relationships. Yet when we open ourselves up for knowing that the other person has his own unique journey, that I have my own unique journey, and collectively we coming together to welcome, to embrace each other's uniquenesses, to embrace each other's unique paths. But we have something that we can really create a sense of belonging in, be it the love, be it the path, the vision that you're on, which is very important to my belief. Because when you have someone that's on the same vision, not the same path, the path can completely be different, but the same vision as you, it is absolutely magical what you can create, what you can build into, what you can welcome in your lives collectively. But it doesn't come from an expectation. It actually comes from this grace that you're giving each other the space to grow. The other person needs and requires time alone, as do you. So what is the sense of belonging when it comes to your love relationship that you can create, that you can welcome? And we go through every single category of life in our meditation group, which is a 360 life enhancer, where we focus in upon every single category, where we focus in upon releasing anything that's in the way of safety, releasing anything that's in the way of sense of belonging, welcoming the new because we've created space for it, and then having a beautiful group of souls that are on the same journey, your community that's on the same journey of growth for themselves, and really learning from them and being in the group coaching to elevate yourself into that next level. 2025 is going to be absolutely magical. It's going to be magical. So let's allow that magic in. Let's allow us to grow in ways that we can. It's absolutely powerful, people. If this is something you want to do, just join the group. The next one is parenting. And parenting, the way that I grew up, was more as to, you belong to us. We have the responsibility of raising you, telling you the right values, telling you how to do your life, and putting you in these beautiful boxes that we have been taught. And now we're teaching you. So you should be grateful. And yes, I am super, super, super grateful for my parents. They did exactly what they knew. They did exactly what they could. And they provided in ways for us that not many family can. So I'm so grateful for my parents. And there's zero blame. And I get to decide to do it differently. I get to decide how I want to create the sense of belonging with my family. And there's no right or wrong. There's no textbook that tells us how to do it perfectly, even though there's no sense of perfection in anything. When I look at my parenting style, when I look at my own spiritual growth for the last few years, what I have learned is I don't own my children. I was giving and blessed with seeing them grow, seeing them their own development happen. And yes, while I can direct them in the value systems, they at one point will make their life choices. And I am okay with that. I welcome that even. The best thing that I can do as a parent is to build a sense of belonging that's not built on the tower of expectations, to build a sense of belonging on the tower of love, of compassion, of grace. I wasn't taught that, so I still ping pong sometimes, and I have to give myself grace when I do that. I have to be okay with learning something new for myself. So as I am ping ponging sometimes from my old paradigm to the new paradigm, I tell them that. I have a very open communication with my kids. When I am getting frustrated and raising my voice, I do apologize for raising my voice. I do explain where that frustration came from. When I am having an emotional breakdown, I do allow my children, my boys and my girl, to see that I'm emotional. And I tell them that there's something inside of me that I feel I have no control over. Therefore, I need to cry this out. I need to give that space to myself so it doesn't get stuck inside of me and it moves out of me so I can make a better choice. So can you. When my children then have a meltdown, an explosion of their own emotion, be that anger, be that frustration, be that emotional cries, that I don't rush them through it. That I actually say like, oh, are you feeling angry right now? If you do, please go in your room and take the time to feel it. And when you're ready to let go, when you're ready to talk, I'm here. We get to create safety measures for them. I choose to build on the tower of love, compassion, versus expectations and dictation. You do you. You choose your own parenting style. And while I will make many and plenty of mistakes, I choose to believe that I do my best, and that's enough. They will create paradigms that are not based on the truth or that are not based on what I was meaning, but that is their own spiritual growth. And I'm okay with that too. I need to provide them with the safety that they can always, always come to me. They can count on me, and I'm here for them. I'm here for them. The next one is social life. How do you create a sense of belonging to your social life? And especially when you go through a hardship as divorce, as a death of a family member, how do you create this? Maybe a death of your best friend. How do you create a sense of belonging from this pain that you're experiencing? What are your parameters when it comes to a sense of belonging to these communities? How can you create that for yourself in a way that is not dependent on anything or anyone, but it actually fuels you? It pulls you out of the rut and the grief and the pain of losing others, but actually opens you up to new paradigms, new possibilities. So often when we go through a divorce, we are seeking communities of people who've gone through a divorce because they can understand us. But this is similar to what I said with the intellectual life. Don't get stuck into the communities who are really feeding their victim mentality, but find those few in that community who are seeking more, who are wanting to get out of that paradigm and wanting to welcome something different, wanting to welcome something bigger than what they are living right now. So you can create that for yourself and be in that room where you feel, I don't completely fit in, but I want to be like that person. I want to know and see what they have so I can grow myself towards it. Be in that room. Be in that social life circle. I have friends, they make millions and millions of dollars. And while I'm not there physically in that reality, I will be there because I am opening myself up to be with people who have created the path. Who are you going to open yourself up with? Who are you going to have regular conversations around? Is that going to be the conversation about the past and the things that you can control or how other people are treating you wrong and doing you wrong? Or is that the path look what I'm creating. Oh my gosh, I spoke with this person and this person is so brilliant. And I don't know why they're talking to me, but I'm so grateful that you lean into those conversations more, because you will build and extend your own sense of worth, your own sense of receivership. And you can build from that sense of belonging that propels you forward versus keeps you stuck in a paradigm that's not of service to you. The next category is financial life. If you've been stuck at earning a certain amount of money and you want to have a life vision that's bigger than that, how do you extend yourself from it? How do you create financial literacy so that you can understand how you can grow your money to that next level? How do you do that? How can you find people in your community, in your surroundings, or even outside of your surroundings that can help you with that can grow you into that paradigm? How do you do that? All of this is possible for you. All of it. When you look at your career, what is your sense of belonging? Are you okay with being a clerk? Or are you becoming and striving to become the CEO? And neither are wrong. It just depends on what is the life that you want to create. What is that ambition inside of you, that fire inside of you that creates a sense of belonging, not a sense of dependency though. When you're dependent on your career to give you everything, then you're putting all your eggs in one basket, which is not going to serve you. Make sure that you're feeding every area of life and not only this area. When it comes to your quality of life, what is your sense of belonging there? Does it make you feel belonging when you are spending time with your family on these beautiful experiences? Or does it give you a sense of belonging when you're putting 50, 60, 80 hours a week in your career? Who gets your time? Determine who gets your time. How can you define and plan and create a life, create a year, create a month, create a day in a way that is going to be in alignment with the quality of life that you are seeking, that you are welcoming? And the last one is a life vision. How do you create a sense of belonging in your life vision? Who is around you? Is that your partner, your children, your friends? Or are you putting yourself in these beautiful excursions with people that you don't know? And you just get to know. You just get to be with. You allow yourself to learn and get to know new people. Get to be in these new experiences that take you all around the world. What is it? What is your life vision? What is the sense of belonging in your life vision? I talked about what we want to create when it comes to a sense of belonging in every single category. But it's also the recognition of what you're ready to let go of that is in your sense of belonging right now, that it is not serving you. If you're the one who got divorced, if you're the one who ended a relationship, if you're the one who ended your career and you're stepping into something new, how can you transmute the sense of loss of that into something new that is actually going to serve you and propel you into a future? And remind you, like, you don't need to do this alone. You really don't. There are so many platforms, communities out there that are ready to serve you. They're ready to honor you. They're ready to meet you where you're at and help you grow into the next version of you. I've been blessed over and over and over again because I opened myself up to those communities. I opened myself up to those people who are in that search of more and are so willing and open and ready to share their experiences with you. All you need to do is ask. Ask. Who do you choose to ask? I'll leave you with that question. And if you feel inspired, share it with me. Who do you choose to ask? I'll be the cheerleader. I'll be the cheerleader for you. And I compel you for tuning in, for listening, for being okay to being on this search of more. There's so much more to life for you. There's so much more to life for you. It's not the reality that you are in right now. You can snap yourself out of this current reality of loneliness and welcome something bigger for you. Your soul already knows it deserves it. Your soul truly does. When are you ready to lean into it and believe it? I'm cheering you on. Till next time. Thank you for listening. I hope this episode has helped you to feel less alone in finding tools towards a life which is overflowing with love and purpose. If you enjoyed the episode, please take a second to rate and review. Each review helps us to reach more individuals who are seeking healing and personal growth just like you. And don't forget to take a screenshot and share your aha moments on your Instagram stories and tag me, Singh Matina. See you next week. Take care.